is Wednesday, the 18th of January. And if you are a realtor in Las Vegas, if you are moving to Las Vegas, if you're thinking of selling, if you're thinking of buying, investing, what we do in our show is show you what's going on in the local market. And a lot of times we go back into history, and a lot of times we predict what's in the future. But today we're going to talk about today. And today we have 7,241 available homes in the Las Vegas Valley in selected zip codes that do not include Pahrump or Boulder City or Mesquite. So this is just a circle of the Las Vegas Valley, basically. We have 113 days of available inventory, and that is based on, let me put my other microphone on here for a second. I know I've been gone for over a week. So let me get my act together here. Okay, got it. Anyway, so we have been, in December, we sold 64 homes per day. So I take that number and I divide it into the 7,241, and it gives us 113 days of available inventory, which is basically 4 months. 30 days times 4 is 120, so almost 4 months of inventory, which is good. That's good. Of those homes that we have, the single family homes, there's 5,598. We listed 21 yesterday that were $430,000 and under, which also gives us 2,001 available homes, single family, that are 430,000 and under. Now I'm still using the 430,000 as the median, but we're going to get into that in just a minute to show you what's going on. What else is happening here? Well, so far, that's 17 days of January, because we can't count today because the closings aren't in. We have been selling only 45 homes a day, not as many as last month, and certainly not as many as a year ago. We are less than, or more than double, less than half, excuse me, of the 94 per day we were selling same time frame last January. So that's a big difference. We have sold 772 homes this month versus last year this month, year to date, to the 17th of January last year, 1,603 homes. So we are way behind, way behind. Interest rates, economy, the fear of inflation, and people just not knowing what's going to happen this year. So a lot of that goes into who buys homes. Who is buying homes still is the investors. And they have year to date bought 264 homes. Now I say investors, these are people that, not necessarily investors, these are people that are not occupying their home. They're non-owner occupied. So many of those could be second homes and transition homes. Different things could play into this number, but still 16 per day of the 45 per day is a huge number. So we need to be mindful of investors still believe, or non-owner occupied people still believe in this market. And hopefully you do too. The $1 million homes, we haven't caught up with last year. Last year, the average daily sales of million plus homes per day was 4.2. It ended up being. It didn't hit the 2021 number of 4.6, but close enough. But so far this year, just 17 days. Now we had some holidays, we had some Sundays, but we're only doing 2.12 per day. By the end of the month, we'll get the really true figure. So that's kind of what's going on in the market. It's slow. Yeah, it's slow. And as you know, real estate agents make their money when deals close, not when they list them and not when they put them in escrow, but when they actually close. And that's what we report on. And so far this year, we're only closing 45 homes per day. And again, last year was 94 homes per day. So let's look at what other things are happening here as we want to show you this particular chart. Hi, everybody. So if I look at what the month-to-date home sales were in the past several years, now I just reported we're doing 772 month-to-date sales. Last year, 1,603. 2021, 1,658, 2020, 1,513, 2019, a whopping 2,286. We were on a roll. That's when prices were starting to really adjust. Anyway, in 2018, 1357, half of what, just a little bit about half of what we're doing now. And then 2017, 1189. So as you can see, we've had several really good years. And 2017 was probably average, probably pretty average for Las Vegas, Nevada. But we're behind this year. So just to put things in perspective, I like to show you what's been going on previously so that you can perhaps predict what might be happening and maybe adjust your marketing, maybe adjust what you're doing to garner more sales, more sellers, more investors, people coming from other parts of the country, how you capture them, so on and so forth. So let's look at the second thing I want to show you today is uh, are short sales coming back? If you look at this chart, right now we're sitting at about 425,000 median price home. Okay. Now we ended it in December 430, and you know, way back in June of 2022, not that far back, but we were up at 485,000 median price home. Yeah. So if you bought a home in June, you probably, or any, if you look at this chart, what I'm going to show you is anybody that bought in 2022 that has to sell now, you know, may be uh, having to come out of their pocket. And sometimes those turn into short sales. Let's look at 2021. And why do I have an arrow there? Well, I figure pretty accurately, actually, that if you take 10% of 398,000, you're going to get about $39,000, which is roughly the closing costs. You know, you have title fees, you have escrow fees, you have the property tax, and you have your realtor that has to be paid. So all of those come up to you know, about four. Let's see, what did I say? 440, maybe 430, 430 actually. So if you paid more than $398,000 for your home and you want to sell it, and that was the median price home back then, you may be looking at coming out of your pocket. Again, is there a short sale market imminent here? Because from June of 2021, prices started to creep up monthly until they got to as high as 485. Then they went down a little bit and ended the year at 430 for December. That's not the average for the year. That's just December. Keep that in mind. And right now, if you take the median price of the homes that have sold so far in the first 17 days of January, you're looking at 425. So if your clients, they may be interested in this information, especially if they're thinking of buying or selling, you know, you might want to tell them that, well, if you want to sell your home for more than um, if you want to sell your home and not have to come out of pocket, you know, you may have to look at what you paid for the home, and this chart may help you guide them through that so that they can see. And this is from the Greater Las Vegas Board of Realtors, and we took only single family homes, only single family. This is not townhomes or condos. And we charted or MLS charted from 2019 to date. And you can see that when we got up to 398,000, and if they paid more, they may have to come out of pocket. And hopefully you can understand this chart and explain it to them, because and if they want to list it for more, this will also help them realize that, hey, the market has definitely declined. From the beginning of 2022 to the end of 2022, it declined. So very important information that you need to be able to share. And what happens when you have this type of information and you show this to people, they say, and I hear agents say this all the time, gee, I want to work with Linda. She knows her stuff. She knows what's going on in the marketplace. And so this all comes into play when you also let them know where people are coming from and what's impacting our market, what's ahead for the market. And I post these things in the group so that you can use these items. Let's hide this for a second. You can use these items to help people in their decision making, people that are moving here, even people that are wanting to know what's going on. You know, yes, our market is shifting. It is. And it's becoming more favorable for buyers. But mortgage rates and inflation are impacting many Americans' decisions to buy or sell a home. But there is good news, right? For those who want to buy a home, there's less competition. And because inventory is still a little tight, sellers will be able to sell their homes if they price them right. And as you can see, Brian Buffini put this out, and it might not be true in our market right now because we are not selling homes that quickly. We are doing half of what we would want to do. So, but but the reason why you need to, this is not maybe something you want to say today because we're not selling as many homes. So if you're talking to a seller, they may need to. This may help them price their home right, stage it properly, make sure they pick the right agent who's going to market it properly. And all those things now become more important. When things were flying off the shelf like toilet paper, as some of the economists like to say, that was oh, just list my home and it'll sell. Well, it's not that way right now. You need to impress upon people when you're going to take a listing or you're talking to your sphere of influence, your database, your farm, that you need to really, really, really pick the right realtor to market your home, who can negotiate and who knows the market and who knows where people are coming from so that they can market to that area. And that is huge. I know we have a property management company. We have hundreds of properties, and people, I mean, I look at the phone numbers when the phone rings, and not a lot from Vegas, not a lot from Vegas. A lot of them are from California, Texas, Utah, the East Coast, and of course, California is huge, right? Because right now they're having weather issues. So it's a good time to market. When people are having weather issues, it's always a good time to market to those areas when they're in the top 10 places, cities that are moving to Vegas. So again, the Millennial Impact. So this will show you the top states where people are moving to: Utah, Nevada, Texas, and this little panhandle down here of Georgia, Tennessee, the Carolinas, and then way up in Maine. Um, Interesting, Maine popped into there. But the millennial buyers, those are people from 23 to 31 years old. Uh, we call those the younger millennials, and buyers 32 to 41, the older millennials, they continue to make up the largest and growing segment of the home buyers at 43%. So older millennials accounted for 25%, while younger millennials make up 18% of home buyers. So these people are young, and they know that they're going to hold their home. Sorry, I'm going to sneeze. Pardon me. And I saved it. Anyway, so these people believe that, uh, you don't wait to buy a home, you buy a home and wait, because they understand that over time, real estate goes up in value. So I believe that's why we have such an impact of this particular group of people, because they know they're going to be in that home, they're going to raise their family, they're going to get a dog, they're going to have, like I said, have a family and what have you, and they want a home because they know that in 10 years, if they don't, their net worth will be $6,000, and their friend who did buy a home, their net worth will be $250,000. And that's just what happens. That's a statistic that we show you, and we have it in an item of value that you can give to your millennial friends. Anyway, so that's what's going on, and you have to be able to know, what's going on in the market. And the federal Fannie Mae. Fannie Mae was chartered by the U.S. Congress way, way back in 1938. Um, what, 80 years ago almost, to provide a reliable source of affordable mortgage financing across the country, and they continue to do that. So don't don't be shy about reaching out to several different lenders and find out what their programs are. And then Freddie Mac, that's an online database. If you go to fred.st louisfed.org, stlouisfed.org, and you will see it's an online database consisting of hundreds of thousands of economic data from time series from national, international, public, and private sources. So if you're looking for information, I try to bring the relevant things to you that are relevant to Vegas, relevant to our market, to help you market and um, continue to have a successful career in real estate. I try to pick and choose what we talk about. And I think that the statistics at this time are very, very important. Very important. And then, of course, you have to know how to market to these people. And that's the other thing that I talk about. And I recently attended a, a seminar with uh, Mari, and Mari Smith is awesome, and I'm probably going to visit with her in March. But there's so much going on in social media right now, as you probably are aware, and it is real. The landscape is really changing. It's changing, and a lot has to do with artificial intelligence. And there's things people are talking about. Well, what's going to happen with Google now that we have that new app, Chat GRP, which I mean, you give it something, you give it your bio, and it'll repurpose it. And I'm telling you, sometimes it's better than the one you wrote. And more that's happening. And Mari Smith was talking about that in the group that I belong to the other day. That is really making an impact um, on our industry, because we need good bios, we need to blog, we need to write articles, we need to get content out there. And I will tell you that content is king, but you know what is the queen? Consistency. Now, I haven't been around for 10 days, and I don't feel good about that. I really don't feel good about that, but that's what's happened to me. I got a bum shoulder here, and so I couldn't use my mouse. I couldn't use my mouse, so I couldn't be consistent. And then I tried to maybe, put some stuff up there, but what maybe you don't realize is producing these statistics takes a lot of, it takes about an hour of my time every morning to create these statistics every day, because there's a lot of searching and a lot of uh, moving around and creating a spreadsheet, then putting it on this format and making it so that you can use it. So when I couldn't use my shoulder, I was dead in the water, and I wasn't a happy person, believe me, because this stuff gives me energy when I know that I'm helping everybody and perhaps providing information that they don't have time to garner for themselves. It makes me feel good. Heck, at my age, I'm not out there with you all, in the trenches, but if I can help you be better in the trenches, that's my goal. So when I couldn't do it, I just couldn't do it. And today, I'm pretty good today, but I have to watch it so I don't overdo it. I tore something here in my shoulder because I picked up 5 boxes. They each weighed 42 pounds, and then I stacked them. Now, why did I do that? I don't know. Look, why would I do that? Well, I've never been injured before. So be careful out there. And my point is, didn't mean to talk about my own self, but just be very careful with what you commit to, so that you can be consistent and deliver information in a timely manner to people. It's really very important that you do that. All right, let's move on here. What else did I want to show you today? One of the things I want to talk about today, I don't want to get into social media, although it's like at the tip of my tongue. I want to maybe give a class here, but I'm not going to. On Friday, we have the risk reduction class. And the risk reduction class is really, it's an risk. Cybersecurity is becoming more and more important all the time. And I talked to many people about this. Frank Abagnale did a luncheon a couple months ago, and for 1 hour, he never took a breath. He's from the FBI, and he talked about cybersecurity and all the ways that we can be, our security can be violated. And as a realtor, That's a big thing because they can get into our databases, they can get into our emails, and they can get into our phones now. And we're gonna teach you how, if you don't know how you make sure that they don't get into your phone and steal your information off your phone. So lots of things that you're going to learn if you take this class, and it's 3 CE credits. Risk reduction now is a uh, required class. We have 36 hours that we have to take, so this is one of them, and it will be on Friday, and it will be from 10 to 1. If you attend in class, and we have a lot of people this particular class that come to class, or that, I think from maybe Thanksgiving through the a week or two ago, let's say 2 weeks ago, most people were Zooming, and the classroom was, a little bit roomy. But now for Friday, we have a lot of people coming to class, which I like. Everybody needs, it's fun to network with people and to find out if you have a buyer or a seller or somebody needs something that you might have, and vice versa. So it's always good to network, always. And when people are in the class, they tend to talk more and give us more stories and ask more questions. And it makes for a very interesting experience for everybody. So hopefully you will be able to attend that class. And then I didn't bring a flyer for Monday's class, but we're having contracts on Monday. And so we have Friday from 10 to 1 and Monday from 10 to 1. And they both are Zoom or in classroom. They all count for your C core credits. And we hope to see you there. And Jimmy will be teaching the one on Monday. Kane Tapp teaches the one on Friday, and he is a information technology expert. And I hope that you ask him tough questions. We always like to stump the stars. Jimmy always asks me, Ruthie, why do you ask me questions that I don't know the answer to? And I said, hey, if I don't have the answer and you don't have the answer, our students don't have the answer. So we need to figure out what the answer is. So it's always fun. It's always fun. I want to close today. Let's see, I've been going on 22 minutes. I have a few minutes, and I want to talk a little bit about something today. And I don't think I have a slide that shows it. Probably not. Probably not. Probably not. Let's put this up here. I know you just don't want to see my face. I always like to have something else up there. But I get a periodical, and this cover story of this particular one that I just received yesterday actually is talking about positivity and how positivity impacts. Um, and I know, what does this have to do with real estate? Well, it has a lot to do with real estate, because if you're a real estate agent right now, you need to maintain a positive attitude, and it protects your heart. That's what this says. This says that positivity protects your heart, and it does. And then they talk about it, and one of the things that they say is, and I just want to read this. Excuse me, I don't know it by heart, but this is positive psychology. Let me just read this little thing for just a second. Hang in here with me. As alarming as these relationships are, research also shows that positive psychological states are heart healthy. Optimistic people, defined as those who anticipate the best possible outcomes, have lower rates of strokes, CVD, and heart failure. Even people with existing disease benefit from a positive outlook. A study published in the Psychosomatic Medicine found that women who have more optimistic attitudes had slower progression of the buildup of fatty plaques, which is arteriosclerosis, in their in the carotid artery, which is along the side of your neck. And another study found that higher optimism was associated with decreased risk of hospital cardiac readmission among people who established CVD. So CVD is a type of clogged arteries. So having a sense of purpose, how much time have we've talked about purpose for so many times, is associated with a better cardiovascular health and a 17% lower risk of your clogged artery events, such as heart attack, stroke. And according to this study, which was published about 5 years ago, it's also linked to a longer life. So if you have a positive attitude, if you have purpose in life, you're going to live longer and healthier. I mean, it would be nice. I tell John I want to live till I'm 120. He says, my God, you'll look like a cabbage doll. And I don't know if any of you are old enough to know what a cabbage doll is, but cabbage doll had a scrunched up face and, no teeth, and their lips were, you know, like sewn together. But anyway, the other thing is that I want to be healthy. And so when I'm out of commission, I'm not a happy camper. But I have tried to maintain my positivity so that I will get better. People say, "Oh, you probably have a torn rotor cuff." I said, "No, I don't. I'm not buying into that. I'm going to fix it and I'm going to get better. And I'm not going to lift 5 42-pound boxes ever again." So let's talk about something else. Gratitude. Gratitude's been associated with better medication adherence, blood pressure, sleep, inflammatory biomarkers, and heart rate variability. And that's the variation time between each heartbeat. The variation, according to small clinical trials. Gratitude is associated with better medication adherence, better blood pressure, better sleep habits, less inflammation, and people who practice mindfulness, a non-judgmental aware of one's thoughts, okay, emotions and actions tend to have less stress, higher levels of well-being, and a heart healthier lifestyle that includes being a non-smoker, free of diabetes, and having healthy blood pressure, cholesterol, and body mass index. Anyway, that's just a little excerpt from this particular study. And I have always believed in, my dog's name is Be Happy, and always being happy and grateful and having a positive attitude and a purpose. And in these times, when I see, 45 agents a day times 90 agents a day are getting paid, when last year 200 were getting paid, I know that that's got to be creating stress amongst people. Don't get a negative attitude. The market can change like that, and it has. And and I see in my building, I see different agents and groups of people doing different things to figure out how to generate more business. And that's why I showed you the short sale chart. You might want to reach out to some people that you sold a home to during that time frame, and just find out how they're doing, and let them know, that they need to hang on to that home, and hopefully they won't have an issue doing that. And if they do, you're there to help them and perhaps guide them through a short sale. And if you don't know how to do a short sale, you need to probably learn. Back in the day, we used to have short sale classes, and we actually had them in our other training center, teaching people all about short sales. Find yourself a good attorney that knows how to do short sales, and that will guide you through the process. And there are attorneys in town that do um, specialize in things like that. Well, let's see. I got 2 more minutes, and I just want to say thanks everybody for hanging in there. Sorry, I was lost my consistency there for 2 weeks, but hopefully I'm back at it, and I will see you Friday. And we're going to talk about social media on Friday and the stats. But I think that we see the picture right now, what's going on with our stats. And I think we need to pay attention and be mindful that this 430,000 is really it's probably going to change. It's already 18 days into the month, and it's so far it has changed down to 425,000. So we shall see, as I showed you in this screen here. If you look at 2023, as of today, we are reporting 425,000 median price home. And learn what this chart means to your clients, because we've sold a lot of homes in the past year and a half, everybody. So I'm sure this affects a lot of you, as you were the realtors that sold those homes. I love you all. I'm so happy to be back. And put a smile on your face, put love in your heart, be empathetic with people. Let's spread kindness this year and make it a great year. It will be a great year. Just keep the faith. Love you all. Bye-bye.